Have faith, let it begin. Hello everyone, this is Angel, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. I want to thank GABBIE Santana for her use of our theme song, Tested. Go visit her on her YouTube channel, GABBIE Santana. Thank you so much for providing us that amazing tune, and I'm looking forward to interviewing you very shortly. That's coming up, so keep an eye out for that interview that will be done with her. We got a two-part interview with her, and that's coming up in the days to come, definitely before the end of the summer. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about the one thing that I know we have all gone through in our lives: breakups. Breakups are the most heartbreaking things we will ever go through. At one point in our lives, we will have found someone that we feel could be the one. The relationship starts out so good. It lasts sometimes for such a long period of time. You feel like it's forever. And then it just comes to a complete halt. There are times too when you're in a relationship and it doesn't even begin. It just ends before it could even start. But ultimately, it's that word. It's that one thing we dread to hear. Breakup. Such a heartbreaking thing to go through. I guess the only way we can start is the signs that you need to know. Typically, breakups shouldn't be a surprise. By the time you break up, you kind of know that things have changed. The dynamic in the relationship has started to dissolve. I can recall being in my 20s, I should say, not my past. Well, it is my past. In my 20s, I remember dating. And I remember every time I would get into a relationship, I would feel as if, this is the one. This is going to be the one. She's great. This is awesome. We have the same thing in common, and we hang out. We kind of see each other every day. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe even 2 or 3 months later, bang, it ends. And when it ends, it hurts so much because you just don't know what happened. And the first thing you think about is what went wrong. And of course, it never fails, right? You get in the car, you turn on the radio, and everybody knows you broke up because everything on the radio reminds you of your ex. You go home, you turn on the TV, and it's like every movie that you've ever watched is on. It's like the network is like, hey, guess what? Angel just broke up with his girlfriend. Let's put on everything that's going to make his heart pierce with pain. Breakups. It's difficult. You cry your eyes out. Now, some of you are tougher than others. Some of you, the breakup occurs and you're like, yeah, I can deal with this. On to the next one. But for most of us, it's painful. You get lonely. You don't know where you're going to go from there. You don't want to start all over. You're like, I'm done. I don't want to even I don't even want to be in a relationship ever again. I'm done. I'm staying single forever. Yeah, breakups. There's all different types of breakups. There's going to be an episode coming up called being cheated on. So I'm not going to go down that type of breakup. Right now I want to go down a breakup that, after everything has been settled and you realize that you're not getting back together. Breakup. Some of us will go through a small depression. If you saw that person every day or majority of the week, you go by this small depression. You just start saying, oh my gosh, you know what? It's like withdrawals. You miss the person. You want to call them. In my 20s, Facebook wasn't even around yet. So, social media wasn't even a way that you can find out how your ex is doing. Now you turn on the TV and you see her already dating or him dating somebody, or they're out in the playing field again, which makes it even worse. The key thing you have to remember is that when a breakup occurs, yes, it's painful. Yes, it's the worst thing. And yes, you do have an opportunity to get back on your feet and go and try out and see if there's somebody else out there for you. But learn from that previous relationship. And if you do get your closure, if you do get that opportunity to discover why the relationship didn't continue. I don't like to say the word failed, because I don't believe that you can fail in a relationship. I think the relationship just ends. So that's my opinion. I never like to say, my relationship failed. Because I think in life we will do things that we make mistakes, and I think that when you make mistakes, you have an opportunity to make up from those mistakes. So unless you truly did something so deceiving, then I'll use the word fail. If you failed to show that partner that you cared, if you failed to give that partner that ability to show the love that person deserved, I guess then I'll use the word fail. But the majority of the relationships, they end. And they end because lack of communication, no trust, no honesty. Sometimes relationships die because you fall out of love with a person. That is very heartbreaking. To hear somebody say those words to you, I don't love you anymore, is extremely difficult. Now, I don't want this episode to be a downer. I really don't. I'm going to try to do my very best to find the positive in a breakup. I believe when a breakup happens, you have to pick yourself up and say, this person just wasn't meant for me. This person didn't love me, or I didn't love them enough to keep them around. And love is a complete, obviously, two-way street. You have to love one another. It's a team. It's something that both of you have to come to terms with. If one person feels as if they don't love that person anymore, why? Why is that? Could it mean that maybe you just didn't want to try to find out who the other person was? Is it because of the fact that you just didn't believe in that person anymore? Are you tired of their excuses? Are you tired of the fact that they're not looking at you the same way they used to? Breakups are difficult. And we spend more time trying to decipher what went wrong that we forget to spend more time trying to move on. Sometimes you get mature relationships where when they end, the other person says to them, listen, it's just because I don't think we're compatible, or it's just because I don't think that it's going to work long term, or I just don't think that I love you that way anymore and you're more my friend. But don't use the typical line that we hear all the time. Oh, it's not you, it's me. Oh, that's the worst. Be honest with that person. Be truthful so that you can move on, so that person can move on. Now, don't get me wrong. Relationships don't just end in a peaceful manner. Not all the time. There's always some outcome or some situation that occurs that puts people on a defense and they fight and argue. My theory is if you were fighting and arguing previously, that's probably the one red flag you were missing out on. If you started to fight toward the end, find out why you're fighting. Share with one another. what it is that you like and dislike that you do to one another to make yourself feel that way. Don't hold a grudge. Don't hold everything in so that one day when that person does something, you flip out on them. Breakups are difficult. They hurt. I remember dating a girl for about 2 or 3 months, and everything was great. She would call me, I would call her, we'd hang out. There was no problems. There really wasn't. Matter of fact, we never fought. It was almost if it was perfect. You ever get in a relationship and it's just too perfect and that scares you? I wasn't scared at the time because it was the first time I had found something perfect at the time that I thought it was too good to be true, but I wasn't even going to think about it. And then that day came. That fatal day. The day that, for me as a man, I'll be the first to tell you, I was the dumbest person on the planet. I had no clue when it was coming. Every time. So she came up to me, I'll never forget, and she said, I can't date you anymore because I'm moving. I'm like, wow, where are you moving to? She's like, I'm going back home. I'm like, oh. So I cared about her so much, I said, listen, can we try to make this work? Maybe we can, is there a reason why you're leaving? Maybe you want to move in with me? And that actually scared her more. But that wasn't the part that bothered me the most. After we broke up, I offered to help her back. I even offered her money to move, but she wouldn't take it. Like 3 months later, after she was gone, I tried reaching out to her and the phone was disconnected. And I reached out to her brother because I was friends with her brother. And he sounded awkward when I reached out because I wanted to just make sure she was okay. And I could hear in the background her laugh. Now, her brother lived in the same town that I did. So I'm thinking, maybe she came back up for a visit. So, obviously, it was clear she didn't want to see me, but I knew she was happy, and I was okay with it. Just so happens that same night, my friends took me out because they knew that I was depressed, or at least somewhat depressed. We go out to the club, and who do I see? I see her dancing. And she's dancing with another guy. And I didn't get mad. I'll be the first to tell you, I really wasn't mad. We just got tons of motorcyclists going by here real quick, sorry. But I wasn't mad at all. I really wasn't. I was more like shocked that I was seeing her. And it was great to see her. Well, long story short, she never moved. She actually told me she was moving because she didn't have the guts to tell me that she was interested in a fellow co-worker of hers. Now that's what got me mad. Be honest. Be truthful. No reason to lie. Breakups are the worst. They will change you. They will make you just cry your eyes out to the point where you feel like there's no water left. I remember a girl telling me once, I gotta break up with this guy. I really gotta break up with this guy. And I'm like, okay, so break up with him. It's like, well, I can't do that. Why? Well, because if I break up with him, then I can't go out and see his other friends. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I like his friends. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You got to tell him. And she's like, no, are you crazy? I'm like, but you should tell him. I was like, it's obvious you guys aren't doing well. He probably knows that. You know, try to be honest with the guy. So she made me tell him. Believe it or not, this actually had a good ending. The guy she was dating liked one of her friends, and she liked one of his friends. Fast forward, they're all couples now, and they all hang out with one another. Yeah, very strange. breakups can change a person. Breakups can be heartbreaking. Just remember, in life, we all have to go through certain things. We can't explain it, we can't predict it. But when we go through it, learn from them. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your heartache. But pick yourself up, dust yourself off, face the world, and know that God has somebody out there for you. Because He believes in you, He trusts you, and He has faith in you. And that's all I got to say about that. We'll pick this up again. Have faith. Let it begin. I am glad I'm not in the dating game anymore.